message. My name is Sergeant Murray Campbell, and I'm of the Toronto Police Service, happy to host as MC today. As we gather to mark the beginning of the festive ride season, we come together with a shared, unwavering commitment to prevent impaired driving and save lives across Ontario's roads. Although it is called the launch, it is more of a refocus, and it's to refocus the efforts that all policing and partner agencies across Ontario and across Canada put forth all year long. I would like to welcome you to the City of Toronto and to the Toronto Police's 23 Division building. I must acknowledge that the land we are meeting on today is on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And Toronto is now the home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by the Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. All RIDE programs, including the Festive RIDE campaign, are some of the most visible and impactful initiatives on Ontario's road safety strategy. Today we unite policing partners, emergency services, government agencies, and community organizations in a common message. Impaired driving, alcohol, drugs, or any combination ruins lives. We are here to prevent the tragedies before they happen. I must acknowledge that we have proud to welcome policing and partner agencies to this event today. We're proud to be joined by policing agencies from Barrie Police Service, the Brantford Police Service, Durham Regional Police Service, Halton Regional Police Service, London Police Service, Niagara Regional Police Service, the Ontario Provincial Police, the Ottawa Police Service, Peel Regional Police Service, Strathroy Paradox Police Service, Waterloo Regional Police Service, and York Regional Police Service. We have some Toronto emergency services that have felt the need to join us today, and we're happy to have them. Toronto Fire Services and Toronto Paramedic Services that we work with every day. As well as our government and community partners, all dedicated to eliminating impaired driving. The Ontario Ministry of Transportation is here today. MAD Canada, including chapters from MAD Toronto and MAD Halton. Arrive Alive, Drive Sober, Smart Serve Ontario, the Ontario Students Against Impaired Driving, Parents Against Driving High, the Canadian Automobile Association, and the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario. We thank you all for your leadership, your passion, and your countless hours your team invests in keeping our communities safe. To begin our formal remarks, I'm pleased to invite Chief Peter Moreira of Durham Regional Police Service, also First Vice President of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, to deliver the opening remarks. Chief?
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with so many community partners, fellow police officers, other first responders, and community members as we launch this year's provincial Festive RIDE campaign. The holiday season is a special time, a time for family, friends, and celebration. It's also a time when we are reminded just how important it is to look out for one another. The message behind the Festive RIDE program is simple but powerful. Don't drive impaired. Whether it's alcohol, cannabis, or any other substance that impairs your ability to make decisions to keep others and yourself safe on the roadways. If it affects your ability to drive, it affects everyone's safety. And when someone gets behind the wheel impaired, the consequences can be devastating. In Ontario, 1 in 3 roadway fatalities involves an impaired driver. Those just aren't numbers. They represent real families whose lives are forever changed, like the Beattie family, who you will hear from soon, and the families of all the victims of impaired drivers. That is why police services across the province, with the support of the Ontario Associations of the Chiefs of Police and our many community partners, are out there through the holidays working to prevent these tragedies before they happen. But this campaign isn't just about enforcement, it's about caring for each other. Every one of us has a role to play in keeping our roadways and communities safe. Plan ahead for a safe ride home. Offer to drive a friend who's been drinking or consuming drugs. Call 911 if you suspect someone shouldn't be behind the wheel of a motor vehicle. These are small acts that can make a life-changing difference. As we look forward to the festive season, let us remember what really matters: coming together, celebrating responsibly, and making sure everyone gets home safely to the people who love them. On behalf of the Ontario Associations of Chiefs of Police, thank you to all of our police officers, our volunteers, and our community partners who are out there every night in every weather condition, keeping our roadways safe. And thank you to everyone across Ontario who chooses to make a responsible choice this holiday season. Let us all do our part to make sure this is a safe and happy holiday season for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Our next speaker works tirelessly working on road safety initiatives across the entire province. Please welcome Chief Superintendent Andre Phelps of the Ontario Provincial Police and co-chair of the OACP Traffic Committee. Chief?
Thank you. I'm honored to be part of such a fantastic turnout of law enforcement, road safety partners, and collaborators, including members of the media who help us get an important message out into the communities throughout Ontario. It is uplifting to see such tremendous support behind our shared goal of keeping our roads free from impaired driving. While this is our goal throughout the year, ramping up our efforts during the holiday season is one of the most impactful aspects of the work we all do, be it on the front line or behind the scenes to keep people safe on our roads. We do so because there should be no empty seat at any family's dinner table during the holidays or at any time of the year because of a driver's decision to get behind the wheel after consuming alcohol or drugs. As a commander of the OPP's Highway Safety Division, I'm saddened by the fact that we've had 34 people killed on our roadways, OPP patrolled roadways, in the last year that were attributed to alcohol or drugs. Our thoughts turn to the families who've lost these loved ones in such a tragic and senseless way. To put it into better perspective, just how prevalent impaired driving is in Ontario, over the past 10 years, more than 650 people have been killed in impaired driving-related incidents on OPP patrolled roads. This is a particularly important time of year for our citizens to recognize the tremendous role they play in helping us ensure no driver operates a vehicle while impaired by alcohol or drugs. Everyone has a role to play in road safety. When celebrating the holidays with family, friends, and colleagues, our citizens can serve as an extra set of eyes and ears as they watch out for each other. They are the extra voices we count on to intervene when someone in their presence intends to drive while impaired by alcohol or drugs. I am proud of our citizens who, so far this year, have used their voice to place more than 21,000 calls to the OPP to report suspected impaired drivers. This is an empowerment every citizen should grant themselves, because in doing so, there is no question that they will contribute towards saving lives on our roads. Be it as a host or a guest, helping to stop someone from impaired driving during the holiday will help mitigate serious threat to lives on our roadways. These are the people we're talking about when we say that safe roads are a shared responsibility. I know I speak for all of you here when I say that keeping impaired drivers off our roads is a responsibility we take seriously and are profoundly committed to, not just in the coming week, but throughout the year. For all the time, effort, and hard work you all put into this, I thank you. As the co-chair of the OACP Traffic Committee, I also want to thank the members of the committee and its subcommittees for the work they do in service of the members of Ontario and the people traveling through our province. I wish you all a safe and happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And representing the Toronto Police Service, Traffic Services, and the entire Toronto Police Service's ongoing commitment to impaired driving enforcement and education, we welcome Superintendent Catherine Jackson.
leadership in this initiative. Their commitment ensures that programs like R.I.D.E remain strong and effective. The provincial R.I.D.E launch reflects our collective approach to impaired driving and reinforces that we are united in our efforts to educate, raise awareness, and enforce safe driving practices. Impaired driving is 100% preventable, and together we will continue to do everything we can to stop it. None of us can do this work alone. The fight against impaired driving requires strong partnerships. I want to take a moment to recognize some of those organizations and services that make a tremendous difference. Groups like MAD Canada and R.I.D.E Drive Sober have been tireless advocates keeping impaired driving prevention front and center in public education. Our frontline partners, Toronto Fire Services and Toronto Paramedic Services, see firsthand the devastating consequences of impaired driving, and their commitment to saving lives is unmatched. We also acknowledge the voices of parents and youth through organizations such as Parents Against Drug Impaired Driving and Ontario Students Against Impaired Driving. Their leadership ensures that next generations understand the risks and make safer choices. And finally, partners like Smart Serve Ontario play a critical role in training and equipping those who serve alcohol to recognize impairment and prevent tragedies before they happen. Driving while impaired by alcohol, drugs, or both remains one of the leading causes of deaths and injuries on our roads. These tragedies are preventable. Every impaired driving offense carries serious consequences, including fines, driving prohibitions, and even incarceration. As of October 31st, the Toronto Police Service has arrested 1,194 people for impaired driving, resulting in 2,603 charges being laid for alcohol and drug-related offenses. Impaired driving will not be tolerated. Everyone deserves to go home safely to their families during the holiday season and every day of the year. The Toronto Police Service is proud to partner with police services across Ontario on the Festive R.I.D.E campaign every year to keep our roads safe for all. The message to drivers this holiday season is clear. Make the right decision and drive sober to keep our roads safe for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. No Festive R.I.D.E launch would be complete without the voice of survivors, advocates, and educators. Please welcome Steve Sullivan, CEO of MAD Canada, an organization that continues to be the driving force in the effort to end impaired driving.
Thank you, and good morning. On behalf of MAD Canada, our 1,000 volunteers across the country, and the victims and survivors of impaired driving with whom we support, I'm honored to be here with you all for the OACP Provincial Festive R.I.D.E launch. I want to acknowledge all the police services that came today, especially a special shout out to my own local police services, Ottawa, who made the trip down here for this. I also want to recognize the first responders who do such important work, and all the community organizations who share our dedication and commitment to making our roads safer. Despite progress, hundreds of Canadians are killed every year and thousands more are injured. It remains one of the leading causes of criminal death in Canada, if not the leading cause. Every day, someone's life is tragically impacted by someone else's choice to drive impaired. None of us ever think it will happen to us, but it happens to someone every day. We know that impaired driving is a public safety issue 365 days of the year, but as we head into the holiday season, many Canadians will be celebrating more often with family, friends, and co-workers. And as Canadians, we have a lot to celebrate, but we must all make a choice to do so responsibly. Given the time of year, police services across the province will be working hard to remove impaired drivers from the road and remind people about the terrible risks of impaired driving. The goal of sobriety checks, obviously, is to detect impaired driving and ride drivers and remove them from the road. But when well publicized and highly visible, they're also an important deterrent. They increase the perceived likelihood of getting caught if you're driving with alcohol, cannabis, or other drugs in your system. And the greater use of mandatory alcohol screening at check stops contributes to the likelihood drivers will be caught and to their perception that they will be caught. MAD Canada is pleased to be a part of this launch to offer our support throughout the campaign in pursuit of our shared goal to prevent impaired driving. We We know how important the work of law enforcement is to preventing tragedies on our road. Police are among our most important partners in our mission to stop impaired driving. They work with our chapters here in Ontario and around the country. They lend their support to many of our local activities throughout the year, and especially our annual holiday awareness campaign, Project Red Ribbon, now running until January 5th. Every driver you take off the road is a potential life saved, a potential injury prevented. You will never meet those people, and they will never know the impact that you had on their lives. But we know. We know you are saving lives, and it may not be as dramatic as taking a gun off the street, but you have taken a deadly weapon off the street as well. 9 charges are laid every hour in Canada for impaired driver-related offences, and these are disturbing numbers. We're never going to arrest our way out of this problem. And we want people to remember that there is a human cost to impaired driving. Too many people pay the price for someone else's decision. We're proud to join law enforcement across the province and others to remind Canadians that getting behind the wheel impaired is never worth the risk. It's not worth losing your license, it's not worth the fines, the legal fees, the increased premiums. And that's just if you get caught. Because most importantly, it's not worth risking your own life, the lives of your passengers, the lives of other motorists on the road with you. As we all plan our celebrations this year, please never drive impaired. Never get into a vehicle with someone who is impaired. Always plan ahead. Get an Uber, take a cab, hop on public transit, arrange a designated driver, call a sober friend. And if you see a driver you suspect is impaired, call 911. We all play a role in preventing impaired driving. We wish all of our law enforcement partners and our first responder partners across the province a safe and effective Festive R.I.D.E campaign. Thank you for all that you do. And I think those who spoke before me will agree that the next voice you're going to hear is the most important one this morning. I've had the privilege of getting to know Connie and Mark and their daughter Victoria, and the way that they honor Rebecca is just inspiring and an incredible thing to see. They honor her life and her memory, and we must help them honor Rebecca and all the other people who were impacted by impaired driving. For officers, that's removing impaired drivers from the road. For legislators and lawmakers, that's bringing in evidence-based policies and ensuring that police services have the resources to enforce safety on our roads. For our volunteers across the country, that means continuing to raise awareness in our communities and in our schools. But for the public, it's also about making the right choice and calling 911 if necessary. That is how we will honor Rebecca and all the other victims and survivors of impaired driving. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you very much for the hard work that your agency does all across Canada. We are especially honored today to welcome Connie Beatty, and she's speaking on behalf of the entire Beatty family. She has decided to courageously share the story of loss in hopes of preventing future tragedies. Please put your hands together for a very, very brave person who's coming out here to inspire the work that we do. And now invite Connie Beatty to come and speak.
Good morning, everyone. I say thank you for allowing me to share our story. As hard as it is to retell the events of our worst day and trying hard to find a way to rebuild our broken hearts, the hopes of spreading awareness is what gives me strength, that perhaps I might change someone's life from this tragedy. Our heartbreaking story began on Sunday, October 3rd at 12:30 in the afternoon. My daughter Rebecca was driving her friend home after spending the morning planning her friend's upcoming wedding. As they drove eastbound on Highway 2 towards Belleville, they were struck by an oncoming motorist that unexpectedly crossed into their lane. The girls were dead and killed on impact. The driver of the other vehicle was impaired and driving drunk. I was given the honor and the privilege of being Rebecca's mom. She was a precious gift. Which I cherish wholeheartedly from the moment she was placed in my arms. Rebecca was such a gentle and beautiful and kind soul. She was filled with her own brand of magic and an inner beauty that shone so bright. She was intelligent, talented, and selfless. She had so many wonderful qualities that made her so special. She was only 22 when her life was cut short and was robbed of a brilliant and a promising future. We are not your average family. We were very engaged and intertwined in each other's lives, our daily lives and dreams. We ran 5Ks, 10K races. We entered foam runs and colored runs. We went ziplining, snorkeling. We went on trail adventures together, and the list goes on. I have a strong bond with my daughters. Domestically, we cooked and we baked together. We cleaned the house to Shania Twain playing loudly on the stereo system. We often had girl dance parties in the kitchen. We spent many car drives in which we sang along to our favorite songs. Popcorn nights all cuddled up watching Hallmark movies. All of these things are non-existent now. It seems lifeless. Christmas baking is too painful. As much as I disliked it when my daughters teamed up together to tease me, I hate to say it, how much I miss it now. Their sisterly, gentle banter and easygoing giggles, I find myself living in the past. This to say, we mattered, and we were living life to the fullest. So when I say this broke us, and this changed our lives to a point of no repair, I'm not exaggerating. A precedent needs to be made. Far too many people are being killed or injured by this preventable, senseless, and selfish act. People need to remember that driving is a privilege, not a right. There are rules and guidelines to follow when you choose to drive. These guidelines are in place to keep everyone safe in our communities. We are living in a world now the victims and their loved ones are losing their lives and rights. And for what? Because the actions and choices of certain citizens that didn't give a second thought of how their actions affect others or even complete strangers, innocent victims and their relations. All our lives are precious, and we all matter. I never had the chance to hug my daughter goodbye, as a mother should have. Due to the nature of the collision and all the injuries Rebecca sustained, regardless of how much I begged and pleaded, I was not allowed to see Rebecca. Never mind hold her or caress my baby. That right was taken away from me. It took 5 days before I was given permission to see Rebecca again, at which point she lay stiff in her casket, and all I could do was feel her cold hands and stroke her hair. My heart will forever yearn for the simple act of just embracing my daughter Rebecca. Caress her gently and lovingly, somehow letting her know it will be okay, like I once did. However, I will never be able to do that, and it will never be set right. I don't know how much longer I have left to live with these devastating feelings, emotions, and a sense of feeling broken. Until my last day, this will be my life sentence and my trauma. Honoring Rebecca and her dear friend's memory has become a high importance to me. They will not die in vain and be forgotten. Creating awareness in hopes of saving others from this pain and this tragedy has become my mission. Where people start planning ahead, where they begin to understand fully the consequences of what happens to the driver who is impaired, not only to themselves, but to their victims. I just want to finish by saying that this past Monday, November 17th, was Rebecca's birthday. She would have been 27. It also marks 5 years since we've gathered joyfully to sing happy birthday and celebrate. No parent, no family, nobody should have to go through this. Please choose wisely. This tragedy is so preventable and can be avoided. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Collectively, our hearts go out to both families of the girls killed in this tragic accident. In closing, I want to thank you all, to our speakers, partners, officers, first responders, and community organizations for your commitment and collaboration. I also want to thank our hosts here today at 23 Division, Superintendent Ron Tavner and Inspector Aaron Hanlon of the Toronto Police Service. As Festive R.I.D.E begins across Ontario, we ask the public to make one simple life-saving choice. If you drink or use drugs, don't drive. Plan ahead, call a ride, because somebody's lives depend on it. Shortly, I'm going to ask that all members in uniform today please join our guest speakers and anybody else who would like to be in the picture for a photo opportunity with us today. We're going to do this in behind with our police services vehicles in behind. Following the photo, I would ask that a representative from each of the police services attending here today attend with their police vehicle at a ride that's going to be a short distance away from here. It's going to start in half an hour from now. Now, I say a short distance away, it may take you the entire half hour to get there because it is Toronto traffic. This event is going to be occurring on Martin Grove Road at the intersection of Martin Grove and Rampart Road, which is about a 4-minute drive away by Google Maps. A map is located in the community room, and most partner agencies here have a copy of that map already. There are still refreshments available in the community room, and we will have some maps available there. We ask you now to form for that picture. Thank you very much, everybody.
Because you're Matt, right?